But here to react is economist Ben Stein, and thank you for joining us. I want to jump right into this discussion about the WTO, Ben, because a year ago, and I remember it, I was at the White House for the press briefing with Wilbur Ross about examining our role in the WTO, and my recollection was that it was on the table that maybe the United States would have to pull out, and a lot of us were like, are you kidding us? I mean, your reaction, do you believe the Secretary of the Treasury, and what does this mean?
I don't think we ought to pull out of the World Trade Organization. I think we ought to backpedal on this as fast as we can and continue on free trade as fast as we can. Free trade is something that has made the United States very rich, along with many other things. We've got to remember something about the U.S., which is different from, say, France or Germany or the United Kingdom or Japan. We don't depend on trade for an enormous part of our gross domestic product. Those countries do. So we can get along without as much trade as they do. But why cut off our nose to spite our face? Why cut down on our trade? The amounts we're talking about here are trivial compared to the size of the U.S. economy. It's just a way of thumbing our nose at our enemies. We don't need it. We're not the stupid country. We've never been the stupid country, except maybe leading up to World War II.
Sure.
But we've never been the stupid country. And I don't like the idea of saying that we have been. I don't like the idea of implying that our nation's leaders are corrupt, are behind the eight ball in terms of dealing with the rest of the world. We're not that country. We're not the dopey country portrayed in the media.
Didn't the United States, and we're looking at a live video of President Trump is about to depart the helicopter at Joint Air Force Base Andrews to head to up here in New Jersey. But as we watch that video, Ben, we can keep talking. Didn't the United States essentially craft what was originally the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade and then the creation of the WTO? Didn't we create this, and hasn't it almost always been in our favor?
Well, I wouldn't say it's been in our favor, but it's been in favor of free trade. It's been an enormous benefit. The GATT was a post-war idea to help the European countries get back on their feet in terms of manufacturing and also in terms of agriculture. It has worked miraculously well. There's no reason to think that it won't continue to work miraculously well. We can afford to be a generous trading partner and to be fair with these other countries and not crack the whip on them. There's no reason to attack them. There's no reason to cut down on our trade with them. There's just no reason to fight free trade, especially for the United States of America, which is big enough to absorb almost any amount of restrictions on trade. And we're not having that many restrictions on trade. I just don't. I like Mr. Trump. I think I'm the only person in the Screen Actors Guild in Hollywood who likes Mr. Trump, but I think he's making a mistake here. We are not going in the right direction fighting against free trade.
Let me ask you this, though, because when I said in our favor, what I meant was I think it was the administration determined that 85% of the cases that the U.S. has brought to the WTO have been ruled in favor of the U.S. Can they convince the president that this rhetoric isn't the right way to go, the people around the president, or is he not going to listen to them?
Well, what we can convince the president is this. We are not suffering from free trade. We are not suffering from having a genuinely open world trading system. We will suffer if we close down the world trading system, and we will suffer if we close down relations or even harm relations the slightest little bit with wonderful allies and friends like Mexico and wonderful, wonderful Canada. We don't want to do anything to harm those people.